Here we have a 1969 Pontiac Firebird, which is owned by Mitch Creek, who's the captain of the Melbourne Phoenix basketball team. We've got a fair bit of stuff going in here. We've got an Alpine 309 Halo to go in the dashboard, 2 of the new X-Type 12s, which is going to be in a custom box. Going to have a nice bit of custom stuff in the boot. Millet Legends going in the front as well. It's our Dakota Digital, which then allows us to put a brand new cluster in. Bobbins spent hours and got this thing deadened. Josh has been a busy boy. As you can see, we've got a bunch of panels already made up. Doesn't look like much is going on in there, but I guarantee you there is some progress. Let's go and have a look at what he's doing. Mr. Joshy boy,
What's going on?
How you doing?
Good. I am fantastic.
So as you can see, we've got our 2 halves of the box. That's still going to need to get this center part cut out as our flange, because it is a 2-piece box to get it in that boot properly and get the size that we wanted out of it. Joshy is at the moment just marking up where the sub placement is going to be. Then once those holes are cut out, we can get the thing back together and actually start working out some trim panel stuff, which will be good. Start making some pretty things.
All the pretty.
All of the pretty. So we'll come back soon and see where he's at. Oakley dokely. So we have some progress. The engine bay is pretty well done. Josh has knocked this one out of the park. So we're pretty much ready to go up here. Again, like we saw, fuse mounted, that's all done. Alternator is all done now. Fresh alternator on there, which is 120 ampere. And all our fresh wiring running back. We've got to put a couple just P-clamps on that just to hold it in place. Also realised that the only ground this car had was this one, which goes to the motor, and that is it. Now I've got to have another look underneath, but I don't remember seeing a ground strap going from the motor to the chassis. And generally motor mounts have rubber bushes between them. So I wonder if that's why we had so much resistance in that wiring and it all wanted to burn the crap out of itself. Maybe. Hunch. Anyway, so that's good. Engine bay is virtually done now. So what we've been up to now is Josh again has been in the boot, and in here he's got a shelf quickly cut up to replace the original one. We've obviously got to do some grill openings on that for the base to pass through, and he's started making the box, which has actually ended up needing to be a 2-piece box because this is actually, like I was saying, a reasonably short opening, and with that boot latch in the way, there was no way to actually get the thing to sit in properly. So you can see in there's a couple of layers of 18 there, which will be a flange, and that will bolt the 2 halves of the box together. So basically that just means we get half in, get that mounted down, screw the 2 halves together, then she'll be good. And we just started coming up with a plan for the amplifiers. So probably something very much like that. It's looking like crossovers in the sides, which is going to tidy our wiring up a little bit. And other than that, we've got some shapes that we've picked out, and you'll see that come very, very soon. So majority of our wiring is now run and ready as well. So now we are pretty much up to fabrication stuff. That's cool. I've got to find some time and get back into wiring that the dashboard and starting to work out how I'm going to mount the head unit as well, and then also what carbon trims we're going to do and how we're going to integrate that. The other thing that we're looking at now is a Pontiac logo to go in the center of the sub box itself. which will be very cool. And I am going to try and make it a bit fancy. Should be pretty cool. See how that comes along. But anyway, just to prove a point that any car could do with a good old bit of roadkill, we've been busy in here. One side is now done, so we'll have a bit of a comparison because the other side still isn't done. So nice and solid. Come over this side. Very hollow. We'll go back over here again. And not even the same. Right, Mr. Joshy has been absolutely killing it on this sub box. So that is a doof box. Pretty good to go. As you can see, there's our flange for the internal, which is done good. It's all looking quite nice in there. Hey, Mr. Joshy.
Hey, yes.
Smash that box.
Thank you.
Absolutely killed it. So, very happy with that. As you can see, we've almost got a bit of flat pack going on down there. So still a little bit more to do, but you're going to get in there and get some mounting chocks worked out to, not that you can see anything, but get some mounting chocks worked out. Start piecing the boot back together and working out our shapes. You can see I've marked up a light outline of where that Pontiac logo is going to be. So between the pair of them, so shall it be good. Alright, Joshy and I have been busy just working out some shapes and stuff. That was our shape we came up with. There we go. So that is our shape that we've come back to. So this is going to be the cover for the amp board itself. So if you remember when I was talking the other day, let's go stroll back to the car quickly. So if we look at the back end, you can see where we've got our shape from. We've got our bumper line coming through, which then angles around and comes up. And then it's got a radius that then comes across here and follows that whole way over. And obviously from there, we can follow that down and around. And then you can see we've got our swoop in the middle of it. And that's gonna be our cover for over here. Then continue that onto the backboard, probably do a flipped upside down and slightly modified version of it, just to pretty much shrink it down just so that it actually fits that board and the panel properly. The box is pretty much in and worked out. That's all been glued and screwed now. Hasn't it, mister?
Sure has, mate.
That box,
Bulletproof.
mint. So cool. So now we've done that, we'll go and set up and make some mess.
Let's go make some mess.
Done. I've been busy on this thing. We are into a little bit more wiring. Joshy is down the back doing a reverse camera. I am back in busy doing some wiring for this Dakota Digital. Going through and basically pinning out all of the factory stuff. There is no way that this original cluster is ever going back in this car, so that's our original plug, and I was a little bit concerned about it because it was all exposed pins that run into the tracks of that original cluster, so it was easier than trying to cover all of this up to pin it out and get rid of him. So now we've got our module halfway wired up. I've got all my powers and grounds and a majority of my signals in. These are all of my sensor wires, so I've got to work out which one's which, of course, but one is speed, oil pressure and water temp, so I've got to do those. I also need to switch these ones here. They are basically for a little toggle switch that then runs the cluster itself. So that's getting close. I've been through and tidied up all the wiring in behind the dash here. So if you remember that little bullshit connector that was over there. I've got rid of him, rewired a chunk of it. Also that wiring that was running down the center console, which was this illumination. I have now redone him as well, and then reloomed this transmission wire. Still got to go through and suss out why this neutral safety switch is not correct, but I'll get to that. So you can see over there as well that I've dropped another line down, which is going to be basically just for some more dash lights. We're going to do some just floodlights in the floor. So we're making some good progress. Got to get back into this. You can see we've got some cable management stuff already laid out on there, which will be coming together very soon. I need to, in the next couple of days, actually get myself in that fab room and make some mess and make some more trim panels up. And our polycarbonate should be arriving, and I'm going to use that, well, you can call it acrylic, but polycarbonate, a little bit nicer to route or machine, just purely because acrylic can be very brittle, and it is machinable, but it is a lot harder to machine than what standard like polycarbonate is. It's a little bit softer. So that will be for all of our little extra trims in there, but we're getting closer. We're definitely getting closer. Hey, you traveling, Mr. Josh?
I am traveling fantastic, Mr. Joe.
Yes, it's good.
Make it the magic.
Make it a magic. Das ist gut.
Fantastic.
Das ist gut. So, keep going at it and be back soon. Dokie, got him wired up, and I've just got the switches temporarily wired in just for setup. We're gonna run some billet switches into the center console, which will be nice and pretty. But let's see if everything works. All right, so let's start with, hey, that looks nice. Right, let's see if everything's working. Hey, that's a good start. High beam, yes. Park, yes. Ow! Goddamn park brake. Left, right, good. Right, let's check all of those gauges. Hey, oil pressure, got a tiny bit of temp. Yep, alternator's charging, fuel level sender's working, RPM, beautiful, awesome. That's a win. The only thing left to do with that cluster now is set the speedo, which obviously I can't do that until the car's back together, so we can go for a drive and do a GPS check. But beautiful, that's the cluster. So now I've just got to get all of this back up and into its place. I've just got this bulb wired in temporarily for the exciting the alternator. But other than that, that's good. It's gone. It's good. Mitch loves our work, so you know we're going to keep this thing banging along. Come subscribe and like my channel. Come follow along, see what's happening with this build, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. Ow! Goddamn park brake.